What's up, everyone? Welcome to the March 6th edition of the NBA Bet Pro video. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And we have 6 NBA games to choose some props from tonight using the NBA Bet Pro model. If you're not already familiar, we are going to walk through how to use the tool. And this is a prop betting model put together by our NBA projections team, the same team that's had success in DFS, built out this model. It should help you with your prop betting game, whether you're experienced or inexperienced. You can very quickly see the best bets that you should be placing. And so we're going to walk through some of those. Be sure to subscribe to the OddsShopper YouTube channel if you haven't already, and also hit the thumbs up below this video. It helps us out quite a bit. Now, starting with BetMGM, we have Trendon Watford over 4.5 rebounds at -120. He projects for 5.9 rebounds tonight against the Pistons. That gives you a 60% chance of winning this wager and a 10% expected return. The S-bet percentage, which is defined up here at the top, is the percentage of your bankroll that we recommend wagering on a given bet. It's a function of how often you're likely to win and your expected return. We recommend wagering 8.8% of your bankroll here. And the SEV is the percentage you can expect your bankroll to grow if you wager the recommended amount. In this case, 0.58% on the over 4.5 rebounds for Trendon Watford. Moving over to Caesars, Trendon Watford, once again at the top, slightly better price here at -121. So if you are able to bet on multiple sites, you have bankrolls on multiple sites, you'd be betting Trendon Watford on Caesars before BetMGM. But either way, it's the best bet on BetMGM. It's the best bet on Caesars. If you look at the best bets tool here, this is where it's going to shop the books for you all in one place. The best place to bet Trendon Watford is actually DraftKings at -115. And I misspoke. It's a slightly better price on BetMGM than Caesars. But the best price you're going to find is DraftKings at -115. But again, great bet on BetMGM, great bet on Caesars. Wherever you have money, take that bet. Take it on DraftKings first if you can, though. Second, we have Matisse Thybulle over 1.5 steals at -133. Thybulle projects for 2.6 steals, which gives you a 62% chance of winning this wager and a 9% expected return. We recommend wagering 8.7% of your bankroll, and you can expect your bankroll to grow by 0.51%. Now, before we move to DraftKings and FanDuel, we are offering a 7-day free trial on the NBA Bet Pro model. If you haven't already signed up, take advantage, see how you can incorporate it into your game. It's likely to pay for itself during that trial, and you can keep using it going forward if you make that money during the trial. It should help you if you are new to sports betting or prop betting. It should help you at least from an efficiency standpoint if you already know what you're doing. Again, you have that best bets tab, so you can quickly see the best places to get your money down. It should help you regardless of your experience level. So take advantage of that 7-day free trial if you haven't already. Now, moving over to DraftKings, again, Trendon Watford at the top, Matisse Thybulle second. You are getting a better price on Thybulle here than you were on Caesars, -125 on DraftKings, -133. Or sorry, -125 on DraftKings, -133 on Caesars. Again, looking at the best bets tool, the first place you want that Thybulle bet is DraftKings. But beyond the two that we've already talked about, still sticking with Portland, over 3.5 rebounds for Nas Little at -115. He projects for 4.6, which gives you a 58% chance of winning, an 8% expected return. We recommend wagering 7.2% of your bankroll, and you can expect it to grow by 0.4%. And finally, wrapping things up on FanDuel, finally a different name, a different team.
Down. So twice a week, Neil and myself, we sit down, we talk about Sorare every week. Well, there's some exceptions for like All-Star break, but by and large, the general rule of thumb is we get 2 slates over on Sorare. We get one that runs Monday through Thursday, and then one that runs Friday through Sunday. So Neil and I are going to be breaking down the slate Friday through Thursday right now. We're going to build some lineups here. And then, of course, if you guys haven't signed up at Sorare yet, use the link we have below, because when you make 5 limited card player purchases using that link, you can get a 6th player for free. There's some really cool prizes that you could win over on Sorare. One of the big ones a few weeks ago, somebody won a Giannis 1-of-1 and ended up selling on the secondary market for $187,000. If you guys want a chance to win prize like that, go sign up at Sorare using the link that we have below. Neil, what's happening? How was your weekend, and how was your previous Sorare slate?
Yeah, it went pretty well. So I've saved the past 2 slates worth of rewards. So we have some rewards, some cards to open in this video, which will be fun. Yeah, it went pretty well. I was actually I think prior to overtime of that Knicks game on yesterday, I was in line to win a rare tier 3 in one of the limited champions contest, and then of course got knocked down to a limited tier 2, which that's what I'm playing right now. So it's probably more useful in the short term. I am trying to get 5 rares so I can start playing those contests. I'm up to 3 that I've won. So a little bit bummed that I didn't get the rare card, but we can open these limiteds. They might be useful on this slate.
And the cards also do have multi-year functionality. So you're going to be able to use some of those players next season as well. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what it is that you want. And then we could also compare it to some of the projections we have over at Stochastic, which are totally free to use. I just threw those into the YouTube chat. And also I tweeted out the link for the show. Hopefully it went out to people earlier. Links, pictures, videos, none of that was working on Twitter. Perhaps it's back now. Maybe it's not. But either way, I tweeted out the link. So hopefully people were able to click on that and come over here. And then, like I said, projections that we have over at Stochastic, totally free. Those are in the YouTube chat right now. But do some screen sharing here, Mike. I want to see what prizes Neil has. I want to see what he pulls. And then, like I said, we'll compare this to our projections and we'll see what looks good that Neil gets out of his packs. And if you guys haven't done it yet for us, do us a favor by liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel. All right, let's make this a little bit bigger on my screen. And here we go. Neil's rewards. And by the way, I like the new layout of the site. Have you seen this, Neil? The new look.
Yeah, Mike and I were just talking about it before the show that there's a new look, and I like it too. I think it's a nice little improvement.
Yeah, a little easier to find contests, a little easier to see previous results as well. You guys could see the lineups Neil has there, which we actually built together on the show a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see what those rewards are. Mike, go up, scroll up, click on that top left there. Let's claim these rewards. And boy, a bunch of them here. We've got 5 players to pull. See if anybody in chat could guess who it's going to be. I mean, pretty hard to it could be anybody, but
I mean, we can see what tiers there are. So I think we've got I can't actually, I think I think I have 2 limited tier 2s, maybe.
Okay.
Those might be, I'm not sure if that's right. And then I think I have a limited tier 4, and then maybe a common tier 2 and a common tier 4. I'm not totally sure if it's 2 tier 2 limiteds, but yeah, so we have some idea just based on the tiers, but not much of an idea.
All right.
Since we don't really know who's in what tier.
Let's click on these individually and we'll see what we got. Maybe one of us.
Oh no, Mike, you didn't save the suspense of
Josh Richardson. I just threw out a name.
Which tier is this one? Okay, good. Yeah, so you saved the best ones. Let's try those common ones and see how they're looking. Josh Richardson, I don't think with a score of 27, I don't think I'm going to be using him this week.
Yeah, so Josh Richardson, before you click on any of those other ones, Mike, just going to pull up Richardson for the week. So the reason that Richardson, by the way, does not project well is because he's out. He's away from the team. He's dealing with a personal issue. You're not going to use him this week. We have him project. He's already out for tonight and pretty good chance he sits the next game. So potential utility for him going forward because he is somebody who's played a bigger role for the Pelicans and has had some fantasy success, but at least for this upcoming slate, yeah, not going to play him because I don't think he is going to be playing. So Josh Richardson, keep him in your back pocket. Probably not playing him here. But let's go to the core ones, as you said, Neil. Do you remember if you finished well in the cores and what we...
I think I got a tier 2 of the common core.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I finished well in one of them.
All right, so here's a common card. Tier 2. 4.
Or was that 2?
Oh, is this the tier 4?
I couldn't.
Josh Richardson again. Herb Jones.
Herbert Jones. All right.
All right. It would have been funny if it was Josh. It would have only got Josh Richardson. Yeah. So
disappointing.
Herb Jones, who, it's funny, Herb Jones actually is a really good value play. Do you know why he's a really good value play? Because Josh Richardson's out.
That's a good point. That is funny.
So yeah, you got Herb Jones in here. We've got him projected for 28 fantasy points on the upcoming slate with a last 10 average of 21. So some pretty good value there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right. So Herb Jones, there's a good one.
All right. Here's tier 2.
All right. We got Raptors, Siakam. Oh, Anunoby.
Anunoby. Would have preferred Siakam, but I'll take an Anunoby.
Yeah, Siakam might be tier 1. I'm not actually sure.
He could be, yeah.
But Anunoby, let's see. Here we got Anunoby projects really well for the upcoming slate. His salary is way down over on Sorare. So listen to this, Neil. We've actually got him projected for 32.35 fantasy points. His less than average is only 21.
Ooh,
OG's had some real stinkers as of late, but as you and I have talked about when it comes to some of these players, the variance is kind of nice with the last 10-day average, especially when somebody plays multiple games, because it's like, all right, his average is 21, but maybe that's because he's putting up like, a 30 and then a 15 or a 30 and a 10 or something like that. Anunoby's kind of all over the place. So if we look at, I see Mike has his box scores pulled up. You could see the waves, the up and the down, where it's like green, the green, bad game, green. So yeah, I think Anunoby's pretty good one for the upcoming slate. So there you go. Couple ones that project well for us with positive differentials for the upcoming slate, and OG Anunoby and Herbert Jones. But now we got 2 more players to open up, and let's see. Both tier 2.
All right.
Let's
see what we got.
Good stuff. Click on it. Let's see who we get from this one. Jazz Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen.
That's a very good. I was gonna say there could only be one tier 2 player on the Jazz, unless Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler, maybe, yeah. But what's the last 10 average here, Mike? Does that say 42? Okay, interesting. I'm looking for so I was building out before the show, but I was couldn't find the perfect lineup. If I can find a player who projects well somewhere in the 40s, I might use this Lauri. So
nice.
We'll see. We'll see what the last pull is as well.
I'm a little bitter with him right now because he is on basically all of my best ball teams this year, and I crushed best ball. I got out of 150 teams, I got 21 to the semifinal round on DraftKings, and of those 21 teams, I think 20 or 19 of them had Markkanen, and then he sat yesterday, which basically just kills all of those.
Oh
teams.
no, Lauri.
But either way, hey, we got Markkanen right here for Sorare, and good pull. Markkanen's had a great year. Started in the All-Star game. The betting odds favorites were most improved players, so could have a lot of value moving forward in future years as well.
Nice.
So one more player left to open. Another tier 2, you said, correct?
Another tier 2.
All right. Let's see what we get. Tier 2, Bucks. Jrue Holiday. Brook Lopez. Oh, so Brook Lopez up to tier 2. Lopez has had an outstanding year. So for this coming slate, this is the one pull you've gotten, other than Richardson, but we'll give that one an asterisk because he's hurt. Brook Lopez, the one player with a negative differential, because we even project for 33.14 fantasy points. His last 10 averages 35. It's a little boosted right now because Giannis missed those games. And if you remember the one game that we had, which I believe was in the last 10 games, right prior to the All-Star break, Giannis got hurt during that game. Brook Lopez scored 1 million fantasy points and just broke the DFS slate at low ownership. So that one's, you could see it's in that box score right there. The one game that's all the way to the top. It's almost above the graph almost. That was the game.
I feel like this kind of shows us the range of tier 2. Brook Lopez to Lauri Markkanen. That has to be like the bottom to the top range.
Probably. It's probably close to it if we were to look at all the different players. But there you go. You got a couple of good players for sure. You got a starter in the All-Star game. You got some role players that have good differentials there. So players that are going to help you build your lineup, and we're going to set that right now. So Mike, let's ask Neil, which lineup contest do you want to build your lineup in first? Which contest?
Let's go with the under 23 limited contest.
Okay. Under 23. Do you have enough players under 23?
I do actually. I've got and I played this one. This is actually one that I did not win any prizes in this week, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought I set a really good lineup and it just did not pan out at all. But I'm thinking that we can set close to the same kind of lineup. But let's take a look at that one first. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, under 23. So, right, because I forget you got Guy Ant, you got Luka, so you got some players here who are. Is there an MVP in this contest, by the way, or is this MVP?
There is an MVP in this contest, if I remember correctly. So we could just use that Luka right away,
which we're probably going to. We've got 4 players that project above everybody else this week, and they're all very, very close. So, Luka projected for 60 fantasy points. Dame projected for 60.2, Embiid 60.5, Jokic 60.9. Very, very little. Yeah, there is an MVP there. So very, very little separating those top guys. So putting Luka in there, very, very good way to start the lineup. There's going to be no disagreements from myself whatsoever. His mic is turned off, so we're not going to let him give an opinion.
He hates it.
I'm going to speak. Yeah, I'm going to speak on his behalf and say that he also likes Luka Doncic in there. So Luka is going to be our MVP, but I'm not sure who you have that's cheap, and that's also under 23. So let's look through some of these guys. We've got Jaden Hardy, Keon Johnson. I have a feeling those are both a no.
Yeah.
Josh Christopher, I assume he is a no now because we've got the Rockets healthy again, although he's not completely out of the rotation, but he would be a lesser option. Same goes for Dejan Nix. Oh, but you got a James Wiseman. Wiseman to me seems like a pretty easy inclusion in there. Wiseman's been starting for the Pistons. He's been much better as of late. So, well, from a fantasy perspective, just more opportunity for him with the Pistons than you have with the Warriors. So that's a pretty easy inclusion. Luka and then Wiseman.
It's definitely one of our better point per dollar plays.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Wiseman. And then keep going up a little bit. Tari Eason's another one who I assume projects pretty well for us.
Yeah, he projects well. He's on like the first page.
Yeah. So Tari Eason, also somebody I've been playing a good amount in DFS. His salary's gotten up a little bit. His last 10 averages 23 on Sorare, but still one of the better values we have on the slate. We can project for 34.02 Sorare fantasy points on the upcoming slate. One thing that's been really nice about Eason is earlier in the year, he was always good from points per minute fantasy perspective, but the minutes weren't quite there. He'd really consistently be like 19 minutes, 20, 21. We've seen the Rockets now, the tail end of the season. They traded away Eric Gordon. It's a team that also had been terrible, but they're just giving Eason more of the extended minutes and taking away from guys like Usman Garuba. So Tari Eason, I think that's a really good inclusion right there. Yeah. What does that give us in terms of salary, and what do we have left for the final two spots, Mike?
There is 82 left, 41 per.
Ooh, okay. So maybe we might have to upgrade one of these guys then. But let's scroll to the top because.
Oh, you know who I want to play? That's my guy,
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he's the most expensive, and at this point we've got money left over. So let's see what happens there.
Yeah, so put in Edwards, and then I guess by default the other spot would go to Scotty Barnes, right? There's nobody ahead of him.
Right.
So how much salary do we have left then? 14. Let's see if there's somebody we could upgrade. Can we upgrade a James Wiseman or Tari Eason? I know they both project really well, so the answer just might be no.
So we could play Mark Williams, right? Instead of James Wiseman. Who projects better? Yeah. I
assume it's Mark Williams. We have Mark Williams for 36.86 and Wiseman for 26.63. So pretty easy upgrade. So let's. Right. Oh, look at all the Mark Williamses.
That's true.
Many Mark Williamses. So yeah. Take out James Wiseman. Yeah, from our list. Of course. Mark Williams, pluralized. There's more than one of them. There's only one James Wiseman. Yeah. Easy choice.
Beautiful.
And this is going to project pretty well for us as well. There's what do we have for leftover salary now? Like just a couple, right?
Zero.
Even better.
We killed it.
This fit like a glove.
Yeah. And I didn't try to do this one either. So that's nice. I just had all these cards.
Nailed it. And by the way, even those other guys like Scotty Barnes, last 10 average 30, projects for 36.29. So he looks pretty good. And Edwards, 38 last 10 average, projects for 43.08. The one drawback to Anthony Edwards is he only plays the one game. So a little risky in case he duds in that game. But either way, he's cheap enough that I think we're looking good there.
Yeah,
first lineup down.
How about a limited champion? That's kind of I kind of consider the limited champion my primary contest. Like that's the one that I focus on the most, typically. This was a rare case where I was like, I think Luka, I know that I can use him in the under 23 contest, even though I'm pretty sure he just turned 24, by the way.
Did he?
Yep. But they're letting me use him. So I'm going to use that Luka, and then I can use my Lillard and Anthony Davis.
You are right. He's 24. So I guess it's players who were 23 under at the start of the season.
That could be right.
It's an interesting wrinkle. I didn't think about that. I was just looking at the names. It did kind of in the back of my mind go like, I remember we just had a Luka birthday we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
You know what I remember was a really big DFS narrative is Luka was playing in Miami when he turned 21.
Oh, No, that's
And
not good. That's
And
not
yeah,
good, Greg.
exactly. I remember everybody's like, is Luka going to have a big game for his 21st birthday? I was like, I don't know. There's a lot. That could be an issue with him playing in Miami. I don't remember what the results were of that game, but I remember being a narrative at the time.
Not the best story, but yeah.
No. I mean, we talked about that on Live Before Lock the other day too, because somebody had said it was Cam Johnson's birthday. Is that
yeah, that's right. That is right. Yep.
Somebody said Cam Johnson's birthday. Should I play him? It's like, you could play him, but don't play him because it's his birthday.
Yeah, he projected well enough that it was like, you could. He's not a terrible play.
And Mike's got it up on the screen here just so you guys could see what our projections look like. And I'll give an explanation for this as well. If you're looking at this NBA projections page, so what this is going to tell you, the projection, that's how many fantasy points we're expecting to score. The last 10 average, that's the equivalent of the salary, the dollar amount that you're going to see on FanDuel and DraftKings. And Sorare, it's pretty easy. The way that the last 10 average, aka the salary for the player, works is what they average in the last 10 games. That's why it's called the last 10 average. And then we've got the value, which is just going to be the differential between the two. It is, what is their projection? What is their last 10 average? If they have a positive number, it means they're projected to outperform what their salary is. If they have a negative number, or if you look up here and you sort by last 10 average, Mike, just so we have the most expensive players up there, and you'll see. So we've got Dame, Jokic, Embiid, Luka, all positive differentials. And you see SGA, De'Aaron Fox, they both have negative differentials. So by and large part, you want to look for the guys that have the best positive differentials when using our projections, which are once again free to use. And then obviously the biggest negative one you're going to see there is LaMelo Ball, because he's injured. He's out right now. Well, actually comparable to LeBron, same scenario. But that's our projections. And if you guys want to find them, just go over to stochastic.com, click on the NBA tab, and then you're going to see free NBA DFS data. You go to that, and then you're going to see the Sorare tab. Easy enough. So let's build the other one. This is what you've proclaimed to be your bread and butter, correct?
This is my bread and butter. Yeah, the limited champion. Greg, do you see in chat? So Sorare FP says they have a cutoff date of January 31st for the birthdays. Very arbitrary date, he says. Yeah,
okay.
It is an arbitrary date, but it's good to know like what the criteria are.
Interesting. So January 31st. So anybody you have who turned 20, anybody who's 23 or younger at that date is still good to go. By the way, thanks for the information, Sorare. Yeah, and by the way, he's got Sorare in his name. He must be an expert.
Exactly. I trust him.
All right. We appreciate you, Sorare FP. We appreciate it. Sorare first person. Maybe it's actually just Sorare. It's self-commenting. You know, like sometimes you go on Twitter and it'll be like, oh, this is this is like the Meadowlands Twitter account for some reason. Well, there we go. This is like this is the Sorare YouTube account.
Could be, for all we know.
Let's start building out this lineup. I see you've got Damian Lillard. I see you've got Anthony Davis. And just based on what our projections are, fair to say you're going to want Dame as your MVP, I believe, right?
Yep. I always just put whoever the highest projected player is, that's my MVP. So in this case, and it was since I already had actually funny story. I sold my Damian Lillard thinking he was going to fall off with Anthony Simons coming back. So I sold him like 2 days ago. I was like, I'm going to sell him now and buy cards that are better coming up. And then of course I look at our projections today and he projects extremely well. And
what happens is Simons got hurt immediately. Yeah. He came back, he played like 9 minutes and got hurt again. So now I've got Dame. By the way, Dame even projects better than Luka for us. Very, very, very insignificant difference, but I like that we're playing Dame in this contest and Luka in the 23 and under contest. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, me too. So I got stuck here and maybe try to figure out where I went. So I ended up needing a player who projects well for 47 or fewer fantasy points is what or for 47 or fewer last 10 average, I should say. So I bet you'll be able to reverse engineer my exact process here.
So here's the easy way I'm going to do it. Mike, go to his account and scroll down. I'm going to find which players weren't in there the last time we did this. And I'll know that's somebody who Neil bought for the purpose of building this lineup. Oh, a little bit slower than that. That's fast. I can't read all those names that fast. I know Mike thinks I'm smart, but
He's going bottom up here.
All right. So does he have a Tyus Jones in there? If he has a Tyus Jones in there, he bought a Tyus Jones. There we go. So Tyus Jones is going to be in there. Tyus Jones, who, whatever the hell is going on with Ja Morant, I don't know when Morant is going to return to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, nobody does.
He might face a lengthy suspension depending on what ends up happening with legal issues. There's an outside chance Morant doesn't even play the rest of the season, depending how it all breaks down. So in the short term here, Tyus Jones is going to look great. He is our number one projected value to an extent where if I'm not mistaken, Neil, and we've been looking up these projections about the same amount of time together. Is this the number one value play that we've seen relative to salary in the entire time that we've been doing the So Rare together?
I think so. I can't think of one that was more. There may have been some that have been comparable, but yeah, it's hard to find, especially like with the range being 15 to 41 as opposed to like 6 to 30. It's yeah, it might be the biggest value we've seen.
So that's a no-brainer. If you guys have Tyus Jones anywhere, you play. You know what I just realized also? Remember the other day we're doing this show. Somebody's in chat and said, I just pulled the Tyus Jones. Is he good for the upcoming slate?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes, now certainly. So whoever that was out there that had Tyus Jones, I'm sorry, I can't remember your YouTube handle, but if you're watching, play Tyus Jones again this time. Yeah, his salary is 15. We got him projected for 41 fantasy points. For reference, I mean, we've only got like, I don't know, maybe 20-ish, 25 players in total that project better than Tyus Jones at all for this slate.
Yep.
And not just raw points. He's one of the cheapest guys out there too. The last 10 average of 15. So Tyus Jones, no brainer. We're going to put him in.
Fun fact here. I see Mike talking about how fun he is to watch, how much he loves Tyus Jones. And I just got to say, we went to high school together, me and Tyus Jones.
You seem to be in different age groups to me.
Oh, well, we went to the same high school, I guess not technically together, but we went to the same high school, just like 20 years apart.
I was gonna say, it was Neil was the Van Wilder of his high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Neil was sitting in the back of the room with just the same flannel he wears every day, his XFL hat. He was
Who the fuck is that guy?
He would walk into class, all the kids thought he was a substitute teacher, and then they would all get confused when he sat down. There we go. Neil graduated in class. So what did you graduate from high school? And what is that, 2016 you graduated?
2016, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought
I'm trying to think when Tyus Jones actually might have been 2014 for Tyus Jones. I don't know. So he's actually, only like 12 years younger than me, I guess.
Same graduating class, though. Same class.
Same graduating class.
Yeah, Tyus Jones is 26. So we've got Damon here. We've got Tyus Jones. I'm trying to remember. I think, did you have an Oubre last time?
I believe I did.
Okay. So Oubre is a good option. We still have that Wiseman. We could play that as a card as well. So we got Oubre in our back pocket. We've got Wiseman. Click on Oubre. And then what does that give us for the average remaining salary, Mike, for the last two spots?
79.39 per.
Okay. So who do we have in like that high? So
with no Morant,
if you click on
maybe
AD
Desmond Bain.
If you click on AD right now, how much salary does that leave us for the last two spots? Or for the last spot, I mean.
30.
So let's see who's available in Neil's lineups around 30. The other thing we could do also, if there's nobody
Mark
like
Williams.
around 30. Oh, easy. Mark Williams then. I know this isn't the lineup you built, but I bet this is better than the lineup you built.
So here's the question. So scroll up just above Mark Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Dinwiddie. I bought Dinwiddie specifically for this contest, and I didn't like do all the math ahead of time. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to want to play Dinwiddie. Then the problem is I go 2 over. So I was hoping to find somebody that I could downgrade off of Brow without like downgrading too much in terms of projection. I don't know if that is the best approach. I could just use the Mark Williams here and use the Dinwiddie in the other contest, I suppose, as like the leader of the pack in the limited contender contest, which does not have an MVP spot, and it's only 110.
Yeah, so the other option that we could go here would be Dinwiddie, and then what about
Curry would work.
How much salary does that leave us left?
1.
Oh, this is perfect too.
You took Oubre out of there for Eason?
Yeah, took Oubre out for Eason.
That keeps AD.
Right. Let's see. So we've got Oubre projected for 41.66, Eason 34. So that's a difference of 7. And then the other one would have been Dinwiddie, who's at 44 compared to Mark Williams. Mark Williams is at 36. That's also 7. By the way, these two lineups project almost identically for us.
Yeah. They're nice lineups.
Yeah, they're both really good. In terms of projection, we have no difference between them. It's whichever you prefer.
Yeah. But the one that's on the screen right now is over the cap, right, Mike?
Yeah, we need to make one move.
Okay.
It would have been Eason instead of Oubre.
Yeah, I would go that way. I think let's go
Okay.
Eason instead of, well, how many? Oh, I used my other Eason already, huh? In the other one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I think the other way. I think I keep Oubre here.
So we go Oubre and Mark Williams then.
Yeah, I think.
You do get a little bit of correlation here in terms of if the Hornets were to, be in an overtime game. You've got Oubre and Mark Williams in there. And
yeah. All right, let's give this one a shot.
All right.
Submit.
Click submit.
I think part of the reason I broke the tie that way is that I think in the limited contender contest, I could use that Tari Eason, because you really need to use, like, you can't use expensive players.
So, I mean, we're at the end of our show here, so we're going to have to wrap up. But you've got Wiseman to play too. Wiseman could be big for that.
Exactly. I've got some decent values there.
All right. By the way, these projections, like I said, all free over at stochastic.com. I'll drop the link into the YouTube chat again. And if you guys haven't done it yet, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up, it's so rare. Use the link we have below. You make 5 limited card player purchases, you're going to get a 6th one for free, only available to you if you sign up using our link. So take advantage of that offer. And guys, good luck with this upcoming slate, and check out all the other content we have later on in the day. NBA Deeper Dive, NBA Live Before Lock, all going to be on this channel tonight. Good luck.